I got a few questions on people asking me why I recommend silver over gold all the time. Well, I believe silver has much more growth potential than gold. Silver is both a precious metal and an industrial base metal, like platinum, which is also undervalued, but I believe silver is much, much more undervalued. So undervaluable and affordable, the average Joe can buy a little bit of silver every week. All the precious metals will increase in value as the Fed prints money. As they print money, they create inflation. The dollar gets weaker, prices go up. To control inflation, you have to increase the interest rate. Not good for an economy based on borrowing at 0% interest and spending. That would be a total crash. Much worse than what Greece is going through right now. 10% of the silver market is physical silver. The rest is paper shares, ETFs, certificates, futures contracts, IOUs on future silver to be mined. There is more above ground gold than silver. We use silver for water filters, medication, rechargeable batteries, solar panels. It's in every electronic that you own. No other metal has more uses, and we don't recycle it. The historic gold to silver ratio has been 20 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. At the moment, it's 47 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. It's down from, I believe it was 84, 74, something like that, but you can see what's happening. The way I see it, you buy silver, you put it up. The worst possible scenario, silver will wind up hitting 16 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, like it has done in the past through a similar, hard economic times. You trade back your silver for gold, and as a result of the lower ratio, you get more gold than you would have got originally. The best case scenario, people realize silver is more rare, and maybe this ratio reverses itself. Maybe several ounces of gold could equal 1 ounce of silver. And there is no scenario where we fix the economy. You cannot borrow and spend money forever. That's not going to happen. People that think this have to get their head out of the sand. It's impossible. If our inflation is not 2%, it's more like 9 or 10, because they do not include gas and grocery. And second, because it's not a constant basket of goods. It changes. They probably look for items with the lowest inflation rate to throw into the mix. If this continues, our high inflation rate could turn into hyperinflation. And then gold would be way too expensive for anybody to have change for you. You'd have to make really huge purchases. You couldn't go and get milk and eggs or something. You have to buy a pallet of eggs or something. Yes, I was talking about silver one day becoming more expensive than gold, but that would most likely be after we're back on a gold standard. After a big problem. That'll make people understand the true value of sound money when we're solvent. That's not going to be anytime soon. And finally, I know we will get back on a gold standard. I always get the remark, we can't go back to the gold standard, there's not enough gold. Well, no, not at today's price, but if the price rose considerably, then lo and behold, we have enough gold. And second, for a gold standard to work, not only must our dollar be backed in gold, it must be redeemable in gold. If too much money was to be printed, people would notice the prices going up. They would rush to trade their dollars for gold, and this would leave Uncle Sam exposed. Not only backed, but redeemable. That's the trick to it. And I want to point out one more thing that most of your financial advisors say, put 10% of your portfolio in silver and gold. But where is the other 90%? It's in your bank account, CDs, 401, IRA, stocks, bonds, Social Security. All that is based in a depreciating dollar that's being inflated away. Buy silver right now while you can. Think about it. If you could go back 3 years ago, or just 2 years ago, look at gold at $800 an ounce, and you knew it was going to climb to 16, would you buy 2 or 3 ounces and say, I've got enough? Hell no. That's happening with silver. Look at all the signs. Look up the points that I've told you. Don't just buy a handful and say, I got enough. You're not only doing this to barter with, but it's for what you can do in the future. Do you want to work for a living? I don't. I want to be the guy in charge. Smoking cigars, drinking scotch, taking care of the people that take care of me. You know, you got crappy guys, you get rid of them. You got good workers, you spread the wealth around. That's how you become wealthy. That's what you do. But you're going to need some hard collateral to do so. Get that collateral right now, and it'll all be over with someday.